Folks, it's Craig Shelton, and you are watching The Cut. As you can see from looking behind me here, a lovely scene here on camera with me, obviously. We'll get to her in just a second. But we're out at Reliance Stadium for the Texans and the Raiders. And by the time you folks see this broadcast, of course, this game is all and done with. And I'm pretty sure by now, Case Keenum is celebrating his first victory as the Texans quarterback. If he's not, feel free to kick your stepdog, all right? Go ahead and kick your stepdog in the ass. It's all good. Natasha Gransberry, did I say that last name right?
Very well.
Miss Gransberry joins me here today, and she's a Texan fan like no other. And we wanted to start the show off today by talking to a Texan fan who is truly, people talk all the time, Natasha, about who's a true fan, who's not a true fan. People who leave early are not fans. People like me that show up late are not fans. And I don't think you can define what a true fan is, because once you put that capital out of your pocket or your purse into Bob McNair's pocket, you have a right to be the type of fan you want to be. But I don't think anyone can argue you're a great friend, and I'll tell you why, folks. This young lady travels to every single Texans home game and road game, more importantly, the road games. And you've been doing this, what, the last 3 years, correct?
Correct.
Now, I'll give you an opportunity to talk to the folks on UTN and tell them a little bit about the group of folks that you travel with and who you are and what you do.
Well, again, my name's Natasha Gransberry, and I just wanted to make sure I confirm that, yes, you can define a fan or a true fan different ways, but there are two characteristics you have to have. You never leave a game early, and you cheer to the very, very end. Without those two principles, you're not a true fan. There's no way.
So if the Texans are winning by 28 points and there's 2 minutes left in the game, you should not get up and leave the stadium?
No, you should be still in your seat, ready to cheer the team into the locker room. That's your job as a fan. Okay. When you sign on as a fan, that's your job.
All right, well, what if the Texans have a Monday night game and you got to work Tuesday morning, they go into overtime? Is it okay to leave then?
No, and I'll tell you why. Last year, we played in a home game on a Sunday right before Thanksgiving, went into overtime. Very hard-fought game. I had transportation scheduled, missed transportation because I was a diehard fan. Thursday, Thanksgiving Day, overtime game. You do not leave. Your team needs you. What happened? Each side missed a field goal. So you never know when the game is over. Never.
So you got, according to Miss Natasha Stansbury, folks, you've got to stick in there until it's to the very, very end. Now, this is what I want to do here is get to a little serious business. You're not just a fan. You also talk a little sports. You write about it. You have your own blog. Why don't you tell folks a little bit about the blog and how to get there and how to find it?
Well, it's taken after my last name, The Gransberry. So my blog is The Gransberry, as well as my Twitter handle, The Gransberry, and that's with an S, like strawberry, The Gransberry. And actually, I talk about sports, food, life, but really sports and how that intertwines. So when I'm on my trips, I always show the cultural side of them, give people a good view of what the city is like, how to see how different stadiums tailgate, what's intriguing. I collect pins, magazines, and then I talk about those different things. And I also buy them and collect them for other people who don't get to travel, that are true fans, as we would say. So I do all of those things.
Now, you say you talk a little bit on your blog about some of your travels as a Texan fan, and you talk a little bit about other tailgates.
Correct.
Now, today we're at the Raging Bull tailgate, And these guys are in the Tailgate Hall of Fame.
Correct.
They've won Tailgate of the Year numerous times. I mean, this is the premier tailgate in Houston. How do other tailgates around the country? Because like I've been to Green Bay, Lambeau Field, awesome tailgating. These guys drove up there for that game. What have you seen around the country, and how do you compare it to what we do here?
It depends. So in New York last year, they were so excited to see so many fans, they gave us a free tailgate. Different fans got together and sponsored a tailgate for fans traveling. However, so far, hands down, Kansas City. Kansas City has us a little beat on the tailgating, mainly because of the setup. I mean, you're just pretty much just out there in miles and miles of tailgating before you get to the stadium, and it's levels and levels, and you got to walk through all the tailgating to get to the stadium. So there's no way you're not in that atmosphere all the way up to the door. And they're ready early, way before 4 hours before game time to tailgate. Now, we're some strong tailgaters. I'm out here every Sunday, first thing in the morning, waiting at the pedestrian gate for them to unlock it. But Kansas City right now still has us a little beat.
Now, is that primarily because of the logistics, the thing that you talked about, with it being set up to where everyone has to walk through that atmosphere of tailgaters? It's kind of that way like in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where Michigan University plays. You kind of have to go through all the tailgating and stuff to get into the stadium. Is it more about that, or is it just they just outright do it better? Don't tell me Kansas City is cooking and barbecuing better than we are here.
Well, I tried several barbecue places while I was there, but I'm not going to say that. I will say that the RV style tailgating is more lucrative there, and also at Candlestick, which this is the last year at Candlestick, but still at Candlestick. Those tailgates are a little different than your actual barbecue and pull up and just have a good time. So it's a little bit more structured. They have RV sections. So those things are pretty interesting to see.
Folks, this is I'm going to go ahead and anoint you the first lady of Texans fandom and tailgating, being that you go to all of the road games. You're not just hanging out, you're paying attention. And you told me that the group of folks that you tailgate with, you're the only lady that's a part of the group. So you need some other women out here to get it together, right?
I do. I took my best friend with me last week in Arizona. She had a good time, sat in the second row. Another thing is we're end zone junkies. We only sit in the end zone. It's by choice, it's by design. Every game, that's where I'm at, in the end zone. Whatever it takes, whatever it costs, that's where I'm sitting. That's where I feel the game at, in the end zone.
So tell folks how to contact you all if they're interested in becoming a part of your travel group. And I would assume sooner or later you guys are going to come up with a group page on Facebook where folks can kind of follow what's going on, huh?
We will. Corey Williams, actually, he just completed the whole 32 stadium tour. He's been everywhere the Texans have played in the NFL, and so he's starting over now for the newer stadiums. And so we're thinking about a different way to expose that element of it. And like I said again, the true fan. We didn't leave when there was a pick six on the road at a 49ers game.
I would have left.
I would not have, and I do not, okay? So you have to support your team and remember that your job is a fan. You're not a football player. You don't have all the insight, and no matter how many years of football you play, you're not in that game. So you need to give what you're supposed to give, and that's your spirit and your time to cheer on your team.
So how do folks contact you guys?
They can hit me up at the Gransberry, whether it's Twitter, Instagram. That'll be the best way to find me, or through my blog. They can always sign up on my blog, and again, that's the Gransberry.
Folks, that's how you get in touch with them. You can see it displayed there on the screen. And of course, you can always reach out to Houston Media Watch at HoustonMediaWatch@yahoo.com. We'll be happy to put you in touch with Natasha and her group. And we look forward to maybe trying to do some work with you. We'd love to get some of your takes. Maybe you can do some blogging with HMW. How about that? We'll network it out there, all right? Hey, we appreciate it, Natasha. Thanks a bunch, and we appreciate you. Folks,
Go Texans!
and we got a lot of footage for you folks from the tailgate in the game, so we'll just keep it rolling with some of that right now, live from you line. Well, it's live while we out here anyway. Check it out. Folks, as I said, we got plenty going on out of Reliance Stadium while we were taping this week's episode of the show. And look who we ran into. He's not playing today for the Raiders, but he's got time to run around tailgates and knock down a few pops. Terrell Pryor, folks, quarterback for the Oakland Raiders, joins us here on the show. I know, Terrell, you got a bum knee, And I noticed you were photobombing us too when we were doing that earlier segment. I don't understand this, man. You can't get out and play ball, but at the same time, you getting your drink on?
You know what? I gotta represent Raider Nation somehow, and what better way than around all these Texans fans? You know, I gotta show them what's up. You know, do my thing. So I'm having a good time doing it.
Terrell, I know you graduated from Ohio State, but you're kind of lacking in the vocabulary there, brother. That's never annoying, by the way. That's always perfect timing. But I noticed that you didn't have a whole lot to say about the fact that you're not playing ball today, but you're getting your drink on, man.
You know, you can't look too much into it. You know, a lot of media tries to do a lot of things and make things up, and it is what it is. But
Terrell, we're not making it up, bro. You're standing here with a beer.
No, I get that. I get that.
I mean, you're drunk on the TV, man. We're not making this up.
You're right. You're right.
Does this say TMZ? No.
I'm still representing my team.
Your team sucks, by the way.
Well, we're gonna beat the Texans today, so.
But that won't do much. That won't do much for your resume.
I'm looking. You got to look towards my future, though. All my knowledge is going into football and my intelligence and everything. I'm training. I'm learning, and I've got a good future. I promise it. I can tell you that. It's gonna be good.
There you go, folks. Drunk ass Terrell Pryor says he has a great future as he stands here dressed as a white man with a beer in his hand. What the hell do I know? Appreciate him out. We'll be right back.